Ladies and gentlemen, Terence Bud Crawford completely dismantles Errol Spence Jr. to cement himself as the greatest welterweight fighter of all time. Not only the greatest welterweight fighter, but perhaps cementing himself or setting a path or trajectory as the greatest boxer of all time, and no one comes close. How talented is Terence Crawford, ladies and gentlemen? He finally claimed all the belts, by the way. All the belts is claimed. The WBC, the IBF, the WBO, and WBA titles. Claimed all the belts. Because going into the fight, he was the WBO champion and took, or WBA champion, if I'm not mistaken, took all the belts from Errol Spence Jr. in one of the most dominant beatdowns I've ever seen. And one of the problems precisely is the fact that we all anticipated going into the fight that this will probably be one of the closest fights we've ever seen. And in a previous video I made, which is a pre-fight breakdown or analysis of the fight, my prediction was that if it was going to be a close fight, it was going to be tactically amazing and stuff like that. That was my prediction. And if the fight was to go to decision, there's no way Errol Spence Jr. can beat Bud Crawford. But if there was likely a finish in that fight, it was going to be Errol Spence Jr. who's going to finish Terence Crawford because he was bigger. That was my logic, but I was completely wrong. Errol Spence Jr. is taller. Terence Crawford last night in that fight looked bigger, looked muscular. When both fighters get into a clinch, do you notice how Crawford just pushes him away so easily? Like, you could just tell who was going to win that fight as they walked into the ring. You could just tell by looking. He totally dominated from round 2 onwards until he got the finish in the 9th round. He was totally dominant, dropping him 3 times. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. I'm talking about Errol Spence Jr., one of the hardest hitting welterweights. His punches were so ineffective against Crawford because he was blocking most of the punches. He wasn't slipping or rolling. He was catching those punches, blocking them effectively. He was so in control of that fight that it was almost embarrassing for us to anticipate that fight all these years just for the outcome to be this simple for Terence Crawford. So where does Terence Crawford rank in your eyes in terms of like greatness? Where does he rank? Because I'm telling you, at the moment, he's pound for pound the best fighter in the world. There's no one who comes close. Not the heavyweight champions of the world, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, none of them. Canelo Alvarez, Dimitri Bivol. None of them come close to Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford right now is above all. Head and shoulders above all. Totally dominant. Counter-striking was flawless against Errol Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr. landed a couple of punches, but he just ate those punches well, took them well, blocked most of the punches, and showed why he is literally the best in the world at the moment. And just like in a fight where somebody's had to go, someone's 0, because going into the fight, both fighters were completely undefeated. It's nerve-wracking because for the most part, most fights would probably never end up. There's a low probability that most fights end up in a draw. So in a fight where both fighters were undefeated, somebody was going to lose. High probability somebody was going to lose, right? Who was it going to be? Was it going to be Crawford? Was it going to be Errol Spence Jr.? I didn't know, but somebody was going to finally lose. And it just happened that it wasn't going to be Crawford. It was Errol Spence Jr. And Crawford showed him why he's the master. He's a tactician. His technicalities is just incredible, honestly. He's so technically sound in boxing. His footwork, his counter-striking, his defense last night was impeccable. If any one of you watched the fight yesterday, mate, it was crazy how he dominated that fight. Totally annihilated Spence Jr. So what's next for him? That's the question, right? Because obviously he is currently the undisputed champion of the world, the WBC champion of the world, the WBA, IBF, and WBO champion of the world, undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Who's up there with him? Gervonta Davis, a smaller fighter, is up there in terms of like pound for pound rankings. He's incredible as a fighter, so he's definitely up there with Crawford. Who else? Canelo and Dimitri Bivol, and you got obviously Alexander Usyk, who's up there as well. Devin Haney, he is up there as well. And obviously, you got Alexander Usyk, who is the unified, well, not unified, but undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So what's next for Crawford? He might have to move up, to be honest, to challenge someone like Canelo. Imagine watching Canelo and Crawford. What a match there's going to be. What a fight that is going to be, honestly. Imagine Canelo was to go against Terence Crawford. What would your prediction be? Who do you reckon is going to win? I don't know. I think Canelo's obviously going to be more powerful, but I think Canelo, apart from Dmitry Bivol and Gennady Golovkin, Crawford probably might be the biggest challenge for someone like Canelo. To be honest, skillfully, absolutely, he's a tactician. I don't think, and there's anybody right now who's actually a better boxer than Crawford. A better boxer in, like, his boxing skills, his technicalities, his timing, just everything combined together. I don't think there's any person in boxing today who is a better pure boxer than Terence Bud Crawford. No one, not Canelo, not Bivol, not Alexander Usyk, not Vasily Lomachenko, not Gervonta Davis, not Devin Haney, none of them. I mean, I was watching the fight and I was sitting down trying to compare Terence Crawford to Floyd Mayweather. I'm like, if someone was to ask me the question, who would you rather be? Crawford's fighting style, what would you rather have? Crawford's fighting style or Mayweather's? Honestly, I'll probably pick Crawford, honestly. Because his fighting style is not just passive, it's active. He's looking to get a finish against fighters, as he demonstrated against his opponent last night, against Errol Spence Jr. He's an active fighter. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want your thoughts down below. Make sure to smash the like button down below as well, and comment and subscribe. And just give me your thoughts about the fight. What was your prediction going into the fight? Who did you think was going to win? And were you disappointed? Because I sure wasn't. I was only disappointed because I expected more from Errol Spence Jr. But again, the fight was just, he just totally dominated Crawford. So I can't do anything. I can't say anything apart from honor and respect the beautiful performance from Bud Crawford. So make sure to smash the like button down below. Comment and subscribe. Peace.